Let's just get right into this right after I make sure I can see myself talk and I'm good in live. So, anyone out there interested in this subject matter? Have fun with this, guys. We're going to just dive into it with a particular edit that I put together to save us some handy dandy time.
Don't criticize the Nick's talking point. Make up your own. But you're never that definitive on anything. You're a fence rider. And that comes off as being fair. It's not. I think it's fake. I think you're a phony friend. I think you're a phony friend. And considering.
Since this is a special cut from me, he's talking about Chud logic in this particular section of his VOD for this.
What you did to get Nick's attention and how he helped you. And the other guys too. And the whole loser commentary community. They've been very, very, very good for you. Unbelievably generous. Let's not forget that you got catfished by a 17-year-old boy. And everybody, including myself, looked the other way, thought it was fucked up, and gave you the best. A year ago, I couldn't believe I was saying this. I was on the phone. This guy's the best fucking guy. I'm so ready. I love his show. I love calling in. Do you ever see me calling in any other shows like that? Never. Because I love it. You know?
This a transition scene here. So let's get this going. So that's what we got there. That's all Tommy really said about Chud Logic's allegation years ago, which seems to be a weird focus by Chud in his so-called response.
What I said. The crazy thing about this new Tommy rant is that, like, I didn't even fucking mention the guy, and he's like raging at me, saying I'm not trustworthy or some shit. You know, brings up my allegation, says, like, dude, what the fuck was that as well, dude? He like brought up my allegation, framed it in an insane way, and then wonderful. Said people look.
This makes me wonder if Chud even fucking watched the video himself. He said he watched it. I have my doubts about it here, and I generally like Chud. This is why you should stop liking people, I think, personally, and sort of causes
look the other way about it, which isn't what happened at all. He's talking about this, my stupid allegation from coming up on 5 years ago now, acting like people look the other way on it. That isn't what happened at all. When Noah Sampson tried to propose that I was a pedophile...
How are you getting that from what he actually said, which I just had in the clip before? I don't know. Seems this is all to highlight how long he goes on about this. Live setting makes sense with certain things here and there. Okay, couldn't see my thing, so I went with that.
Because of what happened. Augie, Nick, and others.
Taman became a member.
Thank you.
Celebrates 2 months of membership. Tommy went full Elon Musk on you.
Thank you very much for the membership. You know, they were defending me because I was getting called a pedophile, and they thought it was unreasonable on the basis of the evidence that Noah Sampson was presenting. And that was before I was even really speaking to them. That was before I even really knew them that well. They did it just off their...
See, and this seems rather defensive of this. Okay, so there could be emotional component here. Because if what TommyC is saying, that, you know, the old guard is sort of avoiding Chud because of many, many things, including Queeman and other associations that he lets run rampant in his Discord. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. That's sort of what is being put out there at the very least.
Their own back. There was no, like, you know, pressure or anything as far as I know to do it. I certainly wasn't applying any pressure to anyone to defend me over it. You know, if people want to criticize me for it, that's up to them at the end of the day. But there was never any pressure from me to do anything about it, you know? And so it's just bizarre.
It seems like a cope response from Chud here. It's really fucking weird to see. Okay, out of that one mention, unless there's other mentions that I missed out there.
That he's now, like, you know, acting like there is some substance to it. Do you know what I mean? He's acting like there's some sort of substance to it, and that people look the other way on it, which was never my impression from how people spoke about it. My impression was that people looked at it.
Yeah, oh, the I don't even know what to say to that. It seems like a very bad faith read into what Tommy C, as stupidly as he sort of put it across. My interpretation of that is that, yeah, we helped you out, Chud, when all that stuff happened, and we were good to you, man. So, yeah, it is a sort of family Owen sort of idea out there.
Ever see me calling in any other shows like that? Never, because I love it. And then all of a sudden, I get a donation, and they're entertaining me being a sex pest, and they're entertaining the whole slasher thing, which I don't particularly remember. And he did shut it down in fairness.
See, I think that's what's the relationship. Why Tommy C brought up the allegation where the commentary on my reading could be too generous, mind you. Okay. I would rather side on a good faith interpretation over completely bat shit off the wall, Jake, because that wasn't it. So I'm hoping from Chud it's just an emotional response, and this won't just simmer under the underbelly and come out later, as it tends to do in
but it just seemed
commentary.
like they're just waiting. I've seen it continue. I've seen it continue with Willie. I've seen it continue with Nick, and they're just trying to nail old Mr. Lips. Well, my recommendation: Tom, Augie have nothing to do. Whether I don't know if Chud's really doing this or not. I don't know if he's doing this or not. Have nothing to do with him because you can't trust him. Whether he's
Yeah, I don't know if Tommy here is saying that he's talks to these people behind the scenes, and this is something that they talk about back there. I'm sort of thinking that's it. He's just like tired of like, yeah, Chad, sorry. None of us really, we've been becoming more distrustful of you. Here's me just saying it. Okay. Why? Because you have a whole bunch of orbiters like Queeman and those little minions to do your dirty work. That's what his interpretation. I'm not even saying I agree with that. I'm just saying this is how Tommy is laying it out.
Audience captured or being a rat, I don't know which, then he's not somebody to trust. And believe me, nothing Batman I'm saying is new because nobody's been on. And this is what's being talked about behind the scenes. Yes, Chud.
That Batman thing really threw me off. Wow, really, Tommy? I mean, I am not trying to stand for Tommy. He words himself horribly.
That's
here.
it. I don't know if you're sitting there giggling saying, we got him, we're fooling him, we got a perfect system here. Nobody bought it. They didn't want to fight with you because they liked you. They didn't want to alienate Nick. And look, you got to deal with your relationships. Now you know where I stand, because one of the biggest reasons I'm doing this is because I want everybody to know where I stand. I want you to know and everybody else. I don't trust you. I think
Public statement. I wonder if the sort of back talk of Mudahar and all that crap really played a factor into this decision of Tommy. Because Muda, yeah. Oh, God. Let me not even get into
you're kind of a weird guy. And I don't think you're that great a debater either, if you want to get into this debate stuff. I think it's just, you just ride the waves. You're kind of like the English guys. You look a little different. You sound a little different. You're a little better spoken than the English guys we dealt with in 2016 and 2017. Any wave will do.
Yeah, there's this whole theory that, yeah, I don't know if it's coming from Tommy, but yeah, Chud sort of was in the political scene and he sort of got pushed out by these allegations, and he came to commentary for the audience or something like that. That's what Tommy is saying. Well, in the whole thing, at least.
And I don't know why you want to get off the Diorio wave. Maybe it's because he's pulling 7,000, whatever. You certainly don't have to support Ethan Klein. The guy is nuts. I completely agree with you on that. But don't act like you can't criticize it without alienating Nick or creating drama. You can do it. I've been doing it for months. I said Ethan was wrong about pressuring iDubbbz, and I took it back when I realized Ethan was right. And I also said from the very beginning that Ethan asked for this shit because he got in bed with a bunch of fucking lunatic communists. So there you go. Now you know where I stand. And for all the other,
Yep, a lot of this stuff.
Exactly, and there's some sort of substance to it, and people look at it, which was never my impression from how people spoke about it. My impression was that people looked at it and thought it was bogus, and said as much, and that's truly what they believed. Certainly don't say that you think something's okay if you genuinely don't. Like, speak your mind about it.
Like, it always annoys me when people hyper focus on one fucking particular point and just harps on that instead of take it as a whole. Okay. Not that from Tommy, it's that big of a hole. It's just a rather out of your butthole and into the world, not thinking much about how your words are going to be sort of affected by other people. Or maybe he just doesn't give a shit anymore. That's probably more likely than not.
If you think I'm some sort of fucking nonce, say that I'm a nonce and we know where we stand. I've never asked anyone to fucking.
Like, he's making it like TommyC was trying to call him a pedophile with that one fucking line, which was being used as a comparison. Yes, it's an unfair comparison towards Chud. He had all of his side going after him with all these nunce things. And TommyC just has a whole bunch of fucking, I don't know what to even call them. Little minions of Queeman who try to take pot shots and try to get a reaction out of people more than they actually care. That's the Tommy of the Sea. Hail, hail, hail. Yeah, nah.
Defend me over what happened 5 years ago now.
Hell,
you know, but people of their own accord have defended me because they thought what was getting called for
TommyC
what
was
happened
the guy
was
going
obviously
against
like
Chud.
some sort of, you know,
He
insane
doesn't
overstatement of the
trust
situation. I'm trying to be calm. I'm trying to be calm, by the way. I'm not trying to fucking stoke more flames on the fire and start more stupid fucking drama.
Fair enough, fair enough.
But it is obviously frustrating for someone to
touch
bring,
grass
you know,
with
try
your
and
dogs
relitigate
now.
this fucking 5-year-old drama. Funnily enough, I think Ico was streaming about it yesterday as well. And if people want to talk about it, that's fine. Talk about it. Have you say about it. Call me a nonce, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, followers and orbiters. I don't know if that even really applies to some of the people who ended up like J-Stalk. Okay, he was an orbiter of Destiny. I don't think he's really an orbiter of Chud. Queeman definitely is. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that.
Right? But I'm not looking to fucking endlessly relitigate something that happened 5 years ago. The Gok jokes are enough. The Gok jokes are enough, okay? The Gok jokes are enough for me to deal with. That I don't have to endlessly fucking talk about, you know, some obviously embarrassing shit that I did 5 years ago that I unreasonably got called.
These
that much is obvious. He's going on off of that one line, which could play into audience capture.
weirdos like this virtue signaling white knight bullshit from J-Stalk demand. Look, no one has to debate you. No one has to debate you. And now what you could do is just try to push up everything to Chud from your content and see if he picks a side. Because that's what it looks like to me. Don't know if it is, doesn't matter, but it looks fake to me. It looks like a bunch of fake bullshit. So, hey, McMahon, did you like that?
Yeah, this is a weird sort of prompt in there, but at the end of the day, that's TommyC, and this is he definitely is a loudmouth. Probably shouldn't have done this. Definitely going to cause drama and probably a lot of other shit. But Tommy just, his instincts is so on a lot of the time. Mama Max, he smelled that bullshit. John Swan, it just seems like he has the bullshit detector. Now, if he just had the brains to sort of back it up with evidence, that would be extra awesome.
you were the smart for that. Now he can answer all these allegations or my questions and what have you on his own fucking stream, and I will move on. I promise you. If he wants to come back at me, I'll be happy to answer him. But I tell you what, if you just say I'm retarded and conspiracy theory, you're gonna have to deal with one of two things. A, that's gonna be implications of one. And B,
Man, maybe I shouldn't put these transitions in.
And that makes me the snake, apparently. And that makes me the snake.
The
Is
whole
you not wanting to come on
thing.
my stream, and apparently, well, Tommy is saying this. I don't know how fucking broad this is. Who are these people? He's naming these people. Is this true? I don't fucking know. I thought it's the first I've heard of it.
This is sort of funny how Chud went on. It's entertaining, but it seems like he's the one coping here. That's just my impression, okay? Tommy just threw it out there. Let me get this shit. Little old angry grandpa vibes there. Fuck you and fuck you all. This is what these people think about you. Have fun with that. I don't give a shit about you guys. That's the Tommy energy.
It's the first I've fucking heard of it, dude. I've not heard that people don't want to come on my stream because they think I'm some sort of snake. But think about how utterly bizarre that is as well, right? Think about how fucking
You're putting it in Tommy's terms. He's also brought up the fact audience capture as an alternative, which either Chud hasn't watched the video, he's omitted certain things to make Tommy seem crazier than he already is, and at the end of the day, I don't think this is a Chud win. Sorry, guys. You can try to spin it all you want. Tommy is probably going to do something even more stupider to make this from Chud seem not that bad. He tends to ruin these things. His optics are terrible, Tommy.
absurd that is too. People don't want to have a publicly broadcasted conversation with me because I'm a snake. Where am I being a snake exactly? Is it reaching out privately to people that have got a disagreement that don't seem to want to talk publicly and saying, hey, do you want to talk about this? We can even talk privately. Is that being a snake? I don't understand how that's being a snake. You know, if anything, the only thing that I'm doing is snaking my community out of content if that ends up happening.
That's sort of funny there. Okay. I like that there. Debate me, bro. Yeah, the debate me, bro thing has got some abuse. There's counters to the crap, but most people don't take them because you got to be a complete asshole and throw away the optics to take the route to deal with these types of people. You also have to think a little bit and willing to take some chances with these people, even if you're prepped for that shit.
And that'll either be, you know, maybe speak, you know, I will say to people, hey, if you've got a disagreement, we can talk about it privately if you want. You know, it doesn't have to be a public spectacle. You know, I'm not looking to snake anyone.
Yeah, this can come across as manipulative. Okay. Gaslighting. Okay. And you can even say that on TommyC's side. Okay. Trying to force this sort of thing. But I don't get that impression. I have this sort of, we're just making content together. Let's not go after each other. I hate that bullshit mentality. Even if that's smart to stop infighting.
Looking to fuck anyone over. I'm happy to converse and talk and have a conversation. So I don't understand where this like snake allegation is coming from.
Yeah, but when do you decline certain conversations because you don't care? As he'll probably bring up. I hate the I don't care. Like you use the opinion as a shield. This is just my opinion, which is fine. It's fine based on the evidence. It's fine. But then you have strong opinions like this, but you're willing to say, why aren't you talking about this? I don't care. Okay. Seems like a cope to me. Okay. Not bad. Just sort of a cope line of thinking. When you want people to engage if they want to engage, but if you don't want to engage, you gotta respect that sort of respect his authority to not engage because he's bored. It sounds like cope responses. That's it.
And like, it just feels like a cop out of like not wanting to talk to me for some reason. I don't know why exactly, and acting like it's because I'm a snake. Like Innuendo Studios for me would be a great opportunity to have a conversation with on stream, right? But like Papa Guy is reacting to Queeman. He's not just ignoring him.
There's this weird thing here also. But why bring up you won't have conversations if you ask TommyC hasn't reached out to Chud or most of, yeah, it's a stupid fucking game. I can agree the girls game shit is very fucking annoying. Oh, freaking
he's reacting to him, and he just doesn't want to have a conversation. You know, and you know, it's like it's just bizarre. And whilst it isn't quite the same thing with the TommyC thing, and I know the shitters wanted me to react to the video because then they've got content for their stream. You know, TommyC is talking about things that I've said on stream. And it's fine. I don't mind him talking and saying his piece about it. Whatever, say what you want to say. But then he's like, oh, you can respond how you want on stream. It's like, well, why?
Like, this is fucking weird from Chud. Why even bring this shit up? I just don't know. This is just so off the rockers, okay? Not that TommyC is perfect here.
Have a convo. Like, why not? You know, clearly you've got some fucking issues with me. Why not just hash it out in a convo on stream, or even off stream? Which I'd rather do it on stream. We could do it off stream, and you can record it if you want. If you think I'm going to snake you in some way, you know, what is this aversion to ever having a conversation?
Because TommyC's a dumbass, but he has good instincts. I think. Okay, that's the problem with TommyC. Doesn't have the brain to really deal with the sort of thing. He's not a very. He's one of these normal guys who actually has good gut instinct, but horrible arguments and everything else.
Conversation, you know, when it's like you're engaging with the person in some way that you've got a disagreement with, you know, very odd behavior, you know. But yeah, I mean, you know, offers open to TommyC if he's got like these big issues with me and he wants to hash it out. I'm happy to talk to him in whatever format he's most comfortable with, you know. But it seems like
Sheesh. This is just coming across as like an abuser. How dare you leave me? How dare you? Okay. You gave me the cold shoulder, you and your group. It just comes off that way.
really, although there were some comments about things I'd said recently, it seems like he's just furious
I
about
don't know if
Queeman,
this is in
right?
response
Like the
to.
amount of times
Okay.
that
I don't.
Queeman got mentioned in a segment that was ostensibly about me is absurd. Even going as far back, odd behavior, you know. But yeah, I mean, you know, offers open to TommyC if he's got like these big issues with me and he wants to hash it out. I'm happy to talk to him in whatever format he's most comfortable.
Don't leave me, TommyC. Don't leave me. Oh, sorry, I'm playing this up too hard. This just watching it in this a certain framework is just
with, you know. But it seems like really, although there were some comments about things I'd said recently, it seems like he's just furious about Queeman, right?
just mad about Queeman. You know, well, you ain't supposed to help out those you call friends like Nicholas Diorio. We ain't friends. Sorry. Couldn't help but do the accent there. But at the end of the day, that's how it goes.
Like the amount of times that Queeman got mentioned in a segment that was ostensibly about me is absurd. Even going as far back.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Ethan and Hassan has been a vicious curse upon this space. Principles have been tossed out and spines are now missing.
Thank
Speak
you.
your truth, King.
Thank you for the super chats. He was complaining about that time that he was on stream and Queeman came on, right? And apparently,
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It was hilarious. Okay. I mean, I thought that was sus. I thought Tommy, another moment where he was a complete dumbass with how he phrased it. But right about Queeman.
I'll like apologize after or something like that, right? Do you know how long ago that was? I had to go back and check because I was like, what? What? How is he like still talking about that? Right? It was like, it was uploaded.
Because since then, Queeman's community's been going after him in small, little, subtle ways. Okay.
To my channel, like 27th of June, 2024. It was like a year ago.
Yeah.
He's still talking about that.
This is why he brought up your circumstance. As I said, horrible, horrible comparison. Queeman Group just made memes to insinuate he had a pedophilic relationship with Kinetic Cal, as he explains in his video. Again, I don't know why Chud's not watching the video.
He's still talking about the year ago.
I have ideas about it, but they aren't good ones. They aren't good faith ones. So I won't.
When Queeman came on, and you know they're the fucking debate. I can't even fucking remember what it was about. I just remember Tommy calling Queeman a bread tuber. And yeah, you know, I understand. Like, you know, I get TommyC hating Queeman, right? Queeman went fucking ballistic over TommyC and was doing endless streams about him, calling him like a fucking senile, water-brained retard, you know. And off the back of some,
this is what is just hilarious. He doesn't have anything. He's saying all these bad things about Queeman, but obviously you should have been able to take this. And frankly, he should have been able to deal with this better, but tired old man.
Some of it, because there was a little bit of drama that got stirred up over it. I think I watched a bit of a TommyC stream, and he was making some sort of embarrassing revelations about something to do with his wife or something like that, right? And then towards the end of it, I was just a bit like, okay, you know, like people wanted me to watch more. And I was just like, I'm not really that into this, you know?
See, I'm not really that into it. Okay. Find a way to disengage when it's two people that you feel like shouldn't be fighting in your life. See, this is a dysfunctional family. That's been commentary for a while. And this is the new family. This is the new breed. Of course, they're going to fight with the old geezers like Tommy, fucking Nick. I mean, I'm not even saying any of these people are perfect, especially like Augie. Yeah, I think one of the most overrated people in the scene, but it's just my thoughts.
I don't think I was like particularly harsh on Tommy, if I recall correctly. Very odd behavior, you know. But yeah, I mean, you know, offers open to TommyC if he's got like these big issues with me and he wants to hash it out.
You keep on repeating big issues.
I'm happy to talk to him.
He just doesn't trust you, and given this response, I doubt he's going to trust you more. Okay, you should have held off on this particular thing. Even if you do want to put it on your second channel. I find what ends up on second channel is very interesting.
In whatever format he's most comfortable with, you know? But it seems like, really, although there were some comments about things I'd said recently, it seems like he's just furious about Queeman, right? Like the amount of times that Queeman got mentioned.
Yes. He has this theory, think it's crazy or not, that Chud is just using Queeman to sort of expose the flaws in other people. But then again, think about how long TommyC and all these old guard have been. I think they're a little paranoid, but paranoid does not mean wrong. I'm not even going to say he's right about Chud here, but it's definitely something worth discussing within the community. I don't care about the community at all. I watch them because they tend to get into all sort of interesting antics, especially against themselves. Okay. Some of them do good work, but yeah.
In a segment that was ostensibly about me is absurd. Even going as far back.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
Should I say commentary like Chud and the old guard does work that I can respect a lot of the time, but you got a lot of stupid little stuff that really expose probably human nature, in my opinion.
Off depressed people.
Ethan and Hassan has been a vicious curse upon this space. Principles have been tossed out and spines are now missing.
Thank
Speak
you.
your truth, King.
Thank you for the super chats. He was complaining about that time that he was on stream and Queeman came on, right? And apparently I like apologized after or something like that, right? Do you know how long ago that was?
I mean, I think it does seem like he watched the video, but maybe he just watched clips from the particular video instead of the whole thing as a whole. Maybe this is why his reading's so far off. Not watching it, not responding to it piece by piece. Because otherwise, this is really bad faith criticism if his judgment isn't being altered in some particular way.
I had to go back and check because I was like, what? How is he like still talking about that? Right? It was uploaded to my channel like 27th of June, 2024. It was like a year ago. Why he's still talking about that? He's still talking about the year ago when Queeman came on and, you know, they're the fucking debate. I can't even fucking remember what it was about. I just remember Tommy calling Queeman a bread tuber. Yep.
Did I replay this whole thing? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Yep, I might have doubled up on this. Shit. Let me just come to the end of this then.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Intervene? I don't understand. Like, what is it you want me to do if someone that is tangentially related to me and is from my community is making content shitting on you?
Yeah, kick him out, okay? Tell him to knock that shit off or disassociate. It's not that hard. Okay, I'm not saying even Chud has to do that. You just like letting your little son run around unsupervised, okay? And again, TommyC definitely has this theory that Queeman is a bread tuber, which I can see. Oh, God. I'm not sure how to fit the conversation and chat into this.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I'm not going to
Show me
try.
where I've been asleep.
Minute that Chud didn't drop that on purpose to create content on a big stream with big players all in the same.
Oh, yeah. He's bringing up something that gets cut off. I'm a bad thing here.
The game is 10 years, and this really bothers me the most, and this is something I actually picked up when I was watching. Do you all remember the New Year's stream? Remember the New Year's stream?
Yeah, it was an interesting stream, to say the least.
What were the two? What was the big development in the New Year's stream?
Let me think. Destiny?
Bobax with the dress, right?
Bowplanks, yeah.
All right. Well, this is I think Chud even knows this. Nobody believes for a minute that Chud didn't drop that on purpose to create content on a.
Yeah, in the response, this point was completely dropped by Chud. Okay, I don't think if he saw it, as I said, he might have saw what Tommy said via clips when he definitely should have watched it if he didn't. Otherwise, yeah.
Big stream with big players all in the same community. Nobody. Keep this in mind. I knew about the Bobax stress, and some of Bobax's critics who had enough respect for him kept that quiet too, including Nick, And so what does Chud do? He brings up the dress out of nowhere. What's his explanation? I thought that was already public. I remember his exact quote. Would. Absolutely nobody believes that wasn't done on purpose. Now,
See, this is one of the interesting things about this. I have no fucking clue if this is true. Tommy is claiming to have insider knowledge. I know Willie Mack commented on Tommy's video, sort of co-signing it. Maybe it's hidden now. Maybe he deleted it. I don't fucking know. A lot of these guys are cowards, and TommyC might be a dumbass, but calling him a coward is one thing I think doesn't work well for him.
fucking cares? It's blowbacks. He's treated Nick like shit. He's a complete backstabber. He'll say absolutely anything. So yeah, I think everybody's like, fuck it. But it did get some people's attention. That was kind of a weird thing to do. And if you really believe that Chud believes that it was, I thought it was out there, then how come there were no videos on Punkback's marriage dress between the months of August and early January? I think that might have got some attention. I'm just guessing. And you know what? I don't care that it's not like had a.
I have to mention here, this Tommy little rant sounds a little conspiratorial to me. I mean, it's believable, maybe. I just don't know about this. Can't co-sign this.
Bud had any kind of loyalty to Bobax or anything, but everybody pretty much agreed that maybe we shouldn't go that far. If it's a sexuality, well, whatever. What if I told you? And by the way, Zab Gaming, nobody believes he didn't do that on purpose. Chud, you can check it into yourself. You can talk to people that were in the stream. You can check. Nobody bought it, not for a second. And
see. I'm this is why I'm thinking the fuck it, I'm old man. Let me just publicly expose everything that old commentary thinks about you new upstarts from the bread tuber spear.
It seems kind of low, but fuck it, it's Bobax. He's a piece of shit to us anyway, and would stab us in the back as soon as look at us. But what if I told you there was something worse in that stream? Something that I just noticed when with McMahon, and I started to remember on that New Year's stream.
Just to let anyone knows who hasn't watched this started off as a rant about McMahon, and it devolved into this thing. I don't know if it was planned this way or if he just did this on the spur of the moment. He has a co-host in here, Matt Pitt, maybe. I don't know. I don't keep track of Tommy too well.
At one point, remember when I told you that everybody knew about Pixie? Everybody knew?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody knew. And this is what it reminded me. And I remember seeing it and thinking it was a little weird. Everybody knew, all of them. I don't know about Augie and how much he knew. They all knew it was coming out. Every single one of them knew it was coming out. I don't know if they knew who, what, where, when, or how, but they knew it was coming out, right? At that particular time, Turkey Tom is still friends with Destiny. And he's got to keep the fucking rouge up at this point, knowing.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not using this segment. Okay. Because this seems rather wild. It seems like ammo that they would throw right back at their asses. But yeah, it's a rather long about thing.
Damn well, when this thing comes out, he's going to distance himself. Otherwise, who does it tip off? Destiny. I found it really strange, incredibly strange, that all of a sudden Chud is putting pressure on Tom and being extraordinarily anti-DGG. Putting Tom in a really, really weird position. Now, Tom can't come right out on it because they don't know what's coming out. And remember what Nick said, you don't know, if this girl's going to change her mind.
Yeah, he's laying out a whole hypothetical. Well, not even hypothetical. He's saying this is how this affects Tom. Chud doing this. Again, very conspiratorial. I think it has a little bit of merit, maybe. Again, Tommy seems to have good instinct, but horrible logic to get there.
Right? Or B, if she's going to get her money. And C, she didn't want it to come out. That's why Craig and President Sunday are listed in the lawsuit. You know who's not listed in the lawsuit?
Like, even if you come to the right conclusion with the wrong formula in math, you still solved the problem. You just got there alternative ways.
The old school lame commentary guys. Nicholas DiOrio isn't listed in it. Willie Max not listed in it. No, it's just kind of the Queeman crowd and the spicy chat crowd that are listed in it. So that, to me, I don't know what that is. Maybe I know the Bowbacks isn't an honest mistake, but that really, really rubs me the wrong way. And it's why I don't really have anything to do with Chud. It's why.
So basically, for anyone who's not understand what Tommy's saying, let me just translate. I think between everyone in our little old guard agreeing what Chud did wasn't an honest mistake, combined with the fact he has a whole bunch of orbiters who like to prod and poke at pretty much Tommy, specifically Nick and Willie, go after them in small little snimey ways that they can just write off as, oh, we were just trolling. We're just messing with him. That sort of logic right there. That's what he's saying. That Chud is permissive of this. Why publicly acting like he disapproves of it. It's just too weak for Tommy to believe that Chud isn't fine. That Chud couldn't put a stop to Queeman and his little gang. He probably couldn't, but he probably could make it difficult. Disassociate from the guy. This is definitely a play. That could be what Tommy wants.
Nobody goes on Chud anymore because we don't know what's true and what isn't. It just seems, and you see this thing like, I'm calling out you, Nicholas DiOrio. I'll talk about something DiOrio.
What Tommy, fucking hell. Okay, at least 2 bars. I know I probably sound like crap, but yeah, I got 2 bars. Oh, wrong one. Okay, who's supposed to support Destiny? Yeah, it's about a power play. He's talking about back in the past before the lawsuit was announced. Okay, he's doing an alt history here. Tommy's doing an alt history here. Yeah, that's complex. All that shit's complex. This is just going back. Tommy's laying this out, going back in time.
Never talked about like the ADL trying to tie him to that censorship organization, something that he's never talked about. It seems kind of shady. Well,
yeah, there's a lot of little things about Chud that's making Tommy not trust him. He gave the alternative. It could be audience capture from Chud. Could be other things. Who the hell knows?
He knows it didn't go over that well because he contacted Nick and asked to talk about it. Yeah, that's right. He wanted to talk about it with him, and get things straight. You know why he wanted to get things straight? Because he knew if he made any honest criticism about Ethan Klein, it would be seen as drama. That's bullshit, and he knows it. He could absolutely criticize Ethan Klein for any wacky thing that he'd done and say no disrespect to Nick or no disrespect to that. No.
This is a bit of mind reading from Tommy. I mean, it's an interesting theory. I can say that at the very least. Okay, good track.
Oh, the wrong way to do it. I'm calling out you, Nicholas DiOrio. That didn't float. Nick, we need to talk about this privately. Well, I suggested that he not talk about it privately because it's doing one of two things. You're just doing a lame-ass temperature check, or you're just trying to get his talking points. So I think that's utterly ridiculous. Your relationship with Nick DiOrio is your business, as is everybody else that's in that chat. Everybody. But I tell you something. I'd be awful, and you can bet I told him that that's awful fucking sus. Yeah, that was me. And by the way, don't know all the names. I'm not the only one, and it's not recent. Not at all. I can tie the kinetic Kel thing to just after I got $5,000 from us.
Oh, kinetic Kel. Dickers. He turned that around quite well for himself.
Then all of a sudden, I'm getting grilled on that channel. And I see what's going on. I'm like, I see the thumbnail that comes out. I'm like, oh, I know what happens here. I've seen that before. Oh, I'm sorry. my thumbnail guy made it. I have absolutely no control of it. Well, I tell you something. Me and Nick would have a problem. The thing is, you and me aren't close enough for me to give a fuck, right? Me and Nick would have a problem if you tried to make me out to be some kind of loser like that. But here's the thing. One of the reasons I didn't bitch about it, because you made it abundantly clear that you're a critic, not my friend, and you have every right to be a critic. I just don't think you're a very good friend.
Yeah, this is about friend first business. Okay. He thinks basically he's saying, yeah, you sort of trying to be friendly with us, but you're not friends. You're just another critic. You're just another commentary channel, which, yeah, Chud has this weird sort of pseudo parasitic relationship going on in his segment, I think. There's definitely some sort of weird game going on. I'm not saying intentional or not. A lot of people do things unintentionally in reality, okay? So Tommy could be misreading this, and Chud could not be aware of his habits. That is because Tommy is doing a reading of Chud logic by these certain actions here. He's building a case, agree with it or disagree. I think it has some merit, but is probably being overstated with definitely a couple mistakes here and there.
I think you're looking for the day. I think you're using Kleeman and all those guys to just kind of get a goal. And to the one moment you say, yeah, Nick really, he's a sweeper this time. He's really a dick rider this time. You tried it with Willie Mack, and you're all ready to come down on him. I remember when you started your stream. I was at my son's birthday.
Again, I feel like I need to play translator for this. He thinks Chud is using Kleeman and all those little orbiters to do his dirty work, why he can seem like the wise, responsible, sane one. And that's what Tommy's trying to lay out here.
Birthday party, right? And you're all ready to go hard on Willie Mack until Nick tweeted about it and said that Willie did a great job after a completely unfair debate situation, the kind of debates that I will never be involved with. I can promise you that. So, Chuck, I don't know if this is jealousy. I don't know if you're a rat. I don't know if your audience captured. I don't know any of that stuff. Tell you the truth, don't really want to know, because I'm going to treat you like a rat no matter what, and I'm just get out of your life and have nothing to do with you. Now, I haven't heard from you in 6 months, so you can't do this whole thing. Oh, I'm stabbing you in the back.
Yeah, they're trying to spin it. You could have reached out to him. Yes, Tommy could have. He didn't care to. Okay, he saw something he didn't like about Chud. Gave it some time. Like, I want to like this guy, but he's one of those bread tubers. Tubular.
No, I'm not. I haven't heard from you. I have no idea what's going on. All I know is our relationship changed immediately after I got a generous donation from Musty that kept me up for like a month and a half so I could continue to do the show. And I retired. That's right. Kleeman maybe retired. And that's it. He got me, I guess. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, anger. He's also coming off as angry. That's Tommy. Always a mistake. Unless it's a tactical thing, which I don't think Tommy's that 4D chest.
Oh, wait a minute. That came from you. Thanks for the support, buddy, pal. And so, yeah, I think you're being dubious and two-faced. And
yeah, as I said, I won't support his intelligence, TommyC. His instincts just seem to be good. And I can trying to put Kleeman in a box is tough. He's weird. There's a lot of bad things about TommyC. Okay. God.
And I smell the Keemstar principle. So if it's jealousy, if it's whatever it is, good luck with that. Have a great time with this. But here's the thing. Jealousy never gets you anywhere. If you are getting passed by Nick and other streamers and they pass your relevance level, do what I do. Congratulate them. Don't phony call them out. You can certainly criticize Ethan Klein. By the way, I have been for months, and me and Nick have talked about the differences without stirring drama.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of theory craft in there. I think he's definitely probably off the mark. But this response by Chud just actually is a bad one, because I probably wouldn't, without this response from Chud Logic, I probably wouldn't have thought this had much of legs. But damn, this is just so bad from Chud. Again, this could have blindsided him. So
I'm not watching the video. You can go and watch it. Don't brigade. Don't leave any stupid comments. If you want to go and see all of his takes, exactly, go and watch it. Let me know if you think I've mischaracterized anything. But I think I've pretty fairly laid out, you know, the rough strokes of what he was saying. Looking to like burn bridges or have like a crash out.
okay, yeah, this is pretty much just I use the end of this. I'll let it play for a bit, but it's all Mr. Chud logic from here.
Drama with someone over the Ethan Assange shit. A drama that I'm largely checked out of and not interested in talking about.
See, like this, use this excuse. I'm checked out. I don't want to talk about it. But you're not checked out that freaking Nick is in this drama drought covering this stuff so extensively on his streams. I mean, I don't watch them. I'm tired of it. So I understand where Chud's coming from. But taking that frustration out in a bit or something, I think TommyC is seeing something that Chud might be just being talked into doing for content, and he is as clueless as anyone else. As you said, TommyC did say audience capture. He didn't care about it. He doesn't like what he's seeing from Chud Logic.
Because I've talked about it for so fucking long. Why do I want to fucking snake someone over that? Oh, I don't think you're criticizing Ethan enough, so I'm going to snake you. I don't fucking care that much about it, dude. I was going to, you know, I expressed some of my concerns in a frustrated fashion on stream. That was enough for me to get it out there, and then I've moved on. I'm not looking to get back into fucking litigating all of my. Oh well, I think you said da-da-da. I don't really care about it that much. So I'm definitely not looking to burn any bridges. And me making like some comments towards Big Nick and fucking Augie and Connor, right? Like that to me isn't enough to like nuke a bridge that we've got. Like if there really is some underlying issues, happy to have a convo in whatever you know, ways suits them or whatever. If they want to, it's in their court. I'm not saying anyone needs to talk to me, but that shouldn't be enough to like end a relationship or something, right? When it's just, you know, largely it's like a quarter shit talking, quarter Finny rage, and a third shit talking.
Yeah, but from what Tommy's saying, you're not friends. Okay. They wanted to be friends, I guess. The whole we were friends shit seems like serious scope, but
A third Finny rage and a third serious,
sorry.
right?
End
Why
of
would
the
that be
day,
enough to end it? You know,
end of the day, this is definitely an L from fucking Chud here. I don't know else how to really put that on anything in reality. Okay, but let me just not go with this. You got a little sideshow and figure out if I want to do the stream past that. Okay. So share this tab instead. Go in here. Okay. Cut Chud Logic. Dickers is one of them. Queeman. No one else. Okay. So just two of them. Oh, J-Stock, I guess. Just for your viewing pleasure. Okay. Yes. I'm just demonstrating. And I got a few of these handy dandy things we can watch.
Yeah.
But you never.
Some of the reactions, you know, since it's been so long. Okay, let's hope this volume thing works. Or
Yeah.
But you're never that definitive on anything. You're a fence rider, and that comes off as being fair. It's not. I think it's fake. I think you're a phony friend. I think you're a phony friend. And considering what you did to get Nick's attention and how he helped you, and the other guys too, and the whole loser commentary community, they've been very, very, very good for you. Unbelievably generous. Let's not forget.
yeah, they're trying to spin this that he's saying that Chud, he's trying to bring it back up to get a win when it's just a comparison between a bad comparison, mind you.
That you got catfished by a 17-year-old boy.
Huh? TommyC stole my talking point here.
Dude, it's so awesome that Tommy does the classic, okay? Elon Musk just did this. Oh,
Yeah,
you're going to be a piece of shit to me? Well,
That's a whataboutism. Okay, can't engage with the actual argument that's being presented, so they got to do something related instead. Instead of addressing it, they got to reframe it. You know what some people call distorting someone's argument? straw manning. Okay, is this reflective from the DGG crowd? Probably.
Actually, you were a
You're a
pedophile the
pedophile.
whole time. Even when we were friends, you were actually a pedophile. Yeah, I didn't
And
care
I knew
about
about
it. You were
it too.
coming
And
for
I
me.
knew about
Yeah,
it. Mine
I
was the
didn't
other way.
care about it, but you're being.
See, it's this sort of shit that probably got Chud Logic to think that was that big of a talking point. These jackasses. Fake news doesn't just occur on a big level. Plenty of gaslighting going on low level. Just that's just an example of that. There's other clips that I just found real quick, like let's take a
I
look.
think one of
here.
the big, I mean, a massive talking point here is the infinite rate machine. Okay. How does the infinite rate machine work?
You guys make what Destiny actually did wrong seem not that bad because Destiny didn't rape
Oh,
them.
this is something I was saying because they would actually eventually get sympathy for Destiny, and I think they did.
Yeah, seems like a good talking point. They're right there. Okay, not a good talking point. Good strategy. Okay, you give Destiny some sort of dipshits as a sacrificial offer. It's not good, but yeah, that's sort of how it seemed to have been. Just that seems how it's turned out.
It.
We're gonna get something
Well,
worse and
it's
worse.
a cool factor. Do you want it like? Do you think Destiny's cool, or do you think Queeman and that guy's cool? Those guys kind of come off like fucking losers that are just bitching, moaning, and screaming in clouds. Destiny, as fucked as he is, still has money. He still has clout. He still is
mean,
marching
Tommy.
forward.
This is just cruel. Okay, let's get a little bit of Queeman action.
Unless I got something grossly wrong or did something that was obviously harmful to him personally, you know, like doxing or some shit like that. I would obviously like, why would I ever fucking apologize for my coverage? I just,
I'm pretty sure this gets mentioned in the Chud Logic stream. Did Chud get it from Queeman or that's weird. I'm not going to even double check it. I think there is a script for this. Both Queeman and Chud went with, oh, why worry about Queeman? Oh, yeah, I'll call him out if he does something really bad, but you know, trolling you and that crap. Let's see one more.
10-year-old boy.
so dude, this is awesome. This is epic. TommyC turned around and said, actually, you were a pedophile the whole time. And I looked the other way. I looked the other way for you, pedologic.
Do people actually believe that's what TommyC was trying to do? I mean, if this ends up being the fucking narrative, man, they're going to prove themselves to be a whole bunch of clowns that, or Tommy's going to screw it up even more.
Pulling the Elon. Awesome stuff.
And the other guy.
The Elon, they're just regurgitating. I just heard Jay's talk about that. Do the same fucking, oh God.
Guys too, and the whole loser commentary community. They've been very, very, very good for you. Unbelievably generous. Let's not forget that you got catfished by a 17-year-old boy. And everybody, including myself, looked the other way, thought it was fucked up, and gave you the best.
So he's revealing way too much here. Way too much. So for most people,
I can agree with Queeman on that. He is revealing way too much. But he's the old man who doesn't give a fuck anymore. Jeez,
I think the case with Chud is she misrepresented her age. And so people look at it and go, okay, I don't place that much culpability on Chud because nothing really happened. And she misled him or he or whatever.
See, this is why I have an idea of what I'm going to say in these streams. Okay, sometimes I get surprised even by what I put together beforehand because Yeah, how is Tommy C insinuating any of that? They're taking one cherry pick moment for comparison that Tommy makes in the video. Again, bad comparison. What happened to Chud years ago? Comparison to what the sort of dumbass Queeman crew trolled Tommy C with. Completely incomparable. But fucking hell. Small gaslighting is still gaslighting.
But it misled him about its age. Okay. Now, so I don't really put that on Chud. Like, it's not a big deal. It's like, you know, it shouldn't happen, but who gives a fuck? That's
See the fapping, twisting it around. You're taking that, you're trying to use that against Chud, automatically jump into that insane conclusion. You don't know what he's doing with that. You're assuming the worst bad faith criticism that is God.
That's, you know, and that'd be the case for anyone. That'd be the case for anyone, you know, not just Chud. That's just the way I would look at those allegations.
The way I would look at those allegations. Yeah. Who the fuck cares about you, the way you look at those allegations then? There's plenty more. Plenty of other instances to definitely say Queeman is a snaky guy. Is Chud using Queeman? I don't fucking know about that, okay? And I think that's the end of this shit, okay? Ongoing development. Maybe I should just say at the end of the day, the motherfuckers need to talk it out without any of this bullshit commentary stuff for content's sake at the end of the day. There's other, as I said, other things. Tommy, yeah, let me at least. I keep trying to keep these things short, but at least let me go back on a couple of things that I noticed that might come up in the video. So, yeah, I am stalling for time, people. You got a problem with that? Let's hope not. Okay, make sure the tab is shared. Have a tab really loud in my ear. I hate baseball, just to let you know. That's what the ad's on.
Don't worry. You guys can.
This whole instance.
Wait, hold on. That's Keemstar?
Darius. They said they keep telling me like he was touching Danny when he was throwing up or some shit. I don't know.
We got a good old playlist.
I just fucking hate pedophiles, man. What can I say?
Ew.
The point is Doomer Media. Anyone who doesn't know, President Sunday seems to be pretty vindictive. Doomer is one of those people. And, you know, they tried to connect it to Willie Mack. You can think Doomer Media's interpretation that President Sunday was threatening to use his activities, expose him to his boss. Okay, that seems a little sus. I think calling it how Doomer did was a little bit dumb, but then Tommy C doesn't bring that up. He brought up the Willie Mack thing. I think I'm going to be at the right place. Yeah,
But protect the journalist and the publication from claims of defamation.
Well, this is partly like what I felt with a lot of this stuff, and I know that you and I spoke not about the DMs, but about the Pixie situation.
You have DMs that lead you to the conclusion that they extorted.
You should. Which is
let me lay this out. Let me lay this out for you. 1 second. So
lay it out.
You believe someone is extorting someone else. Person A is extorting person B, and you have DMs to evidence this that have led you to this conclusion. You reach out to person A and you say, "Hey, are you extorting person B?"
Okay. That's the point of that particular thing there at the end of the day. I'll leave it up because it's an example of one of the things Tommy C thought was really craptastic, and Chud's coverage of that seemed to be way too in favor of J-Stock and his orbiter, Queeman. There's other examples about at least Queeman, something that fucking Chud doesn't touch, that fucking Queeman also avoids, is the whole lolly thing. And I think anyone watch the sort of talk between Queeman and Card Postin on Card Postin channel. Don't tell me you haven't noticed how Queeman turned it around about him to maybe you were bad faith. But you know what? The ethics of Queeman are questionable at best. Personally, I think whenever he says a goddamn thing about ethics, what ethical system are you working from? Dipshit should be the answer. No. What ethical? No, we're not talking about my ethical system. I know my ethical system. It gets me in trouble all the time. Well, the collusion between my absurdist worldview and a more modernistic take out there can be a little bit interesting at the end of the day. But at least I know my ethical branches. Sorry if you sort of have to have morals to morally judge others. Just an opinion, man. The truth bias here. So at the end of the day, yes, that is something I didn't bring up. That seemed extremely unethical. Like, yeah, if Doomer did something bad, go after his ass for it. But even that was done in a completely shitty way, especially Queeman's part of that. But no one wants to hear that. Doomer Media is the internet's punching bag. So why not join in? Who's going to go to bat for that fucking man? Real question out there. It's sort of sad to see. At the end of the day, this is just a preamble to a video. And I'm willing to actually duke it out if people want to do the debate me bro on it. Tit for tat, motherfuckers. You don't get to come in the ring and think that you're the only one who gets to throw punches. That shit is a little bullshit in my opinion. And with that, I am fucking done. Oh, by the way, it was when he was memed on for his EFAP. I've been gaming for 30 years. Same here, man. Same here. But we're not going to turn this into a Doomer love fest, man. I'm keeping this short for what's to come, which I'll probably be fine as I normally am. As a